Hello. Hello. You can hear me. Brilliant. I'm going to be your MC for today. My name is Jack Taylor. I am the program lead for the Woods Under Threat team at the Woodland Trust. I've been organising this event alongside Better Shrewsbury Transport and other sort of local campaigners as well. Shrewsbury XR in the fold too. So, and Rob McBride, of course, over there, Rob. So thank you first of all to everybody who's helped to organise this. What an amazing turnout. You all look absolutely awesome. So really huge thank you for coming along. I'm just going to run you through a little bit of a sort of schedule of what we've got planned. First off, we're going to have a few speeches, about 5 minutes each, just to hear from a few people. I'm going to pass over to Mike. He's going to tell you a little bit about the campaign. Come back to me, I'll talk to you a little bit about the Woodland Trust, what we do and how we're involved. And then you'll hear from Rob McBride, aka Tree Hunter. Following on from that, at about 3 o'clock, hopefully, we're going to try and do the big count, see how many Darwins we have here today with us. Unfortunately, we tried to get Guinness World Records, but they want a lot of money to get a record on the table. Boo! So we're not going to be able to do that, but we're going to set our own record, and that's good enough for us. So without further ado, I'm going to pass on to Mike to tell you a little bit about the campaign.
Great, thank you, Jack, and thank you all for turning up and making the effort to dress up. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I reckon there's about 100 people here, but we'll see when we line up for the big count. So just to talk about why we're here. So Shropshire Council plans to put a big road from that corner of the field there, right across the field here, big bridge across there, and they'll be cutting down all these irreplaceable veteran trees, such as this Darwin Oak, which is 550 years old, we reckon. So that is Wars of the Roses we're talking about when this was an acorn. So absolutely ancient, and they shouldn't be cut down at all, but apparently it's more important that you should be able to drive from A to B then this tree should carry on living here for another few hundred years. So we are trying to raise money for a legal challenge. Shropshire Council's given itself planning permission. We think that they've really cut a lot of corners in doing that, because it's obvious that they haven't taken into account all the impacts on beautiful areas like this. So we want a legal challenge. And so we are raising funds for that, and there's people around with buckets and ways of giving money. But just to say what the connection with Darwin is, I think we in Shrewsbury know that Darwin was born in Shrewsbury and grew up in the Mount, which is just a couple of miles down there. This is where their family came out for Sunday walks. It's the obvious place to go when you're walking. They did a lot of walking in those days. So they would have walked right past this tree many times. And when he was a young adult, he also spent weeks rooting around in the old quarries in Shelton Rough, looking at the geology. So we know Darwin knew this area really well, and I think it's appropriate that we call this fantastic tree the Darwin Oak. It was the only tree, if you look at the old maps, it was the only tree on this hedgerow 200 years ago when he was here. So it's been on its own in this hedgerow for absolutely centuries, and we want to keep it for another few centuries. So I'll hand over back to Jack, and then on to Rob.
Thank you, Mike. So yeah, thank you again for coming today. It's really amazing to see so many Darwins in one place. I think if Charles Darwin could see us here, I suppose I would say he would be proud, but I think the first thing he'd do would probably laugh to see people actually dressed like him, and so many in one place. But it's so good to have Shrewsbury's finest and everyone else from further afield come and join us today. Ancient trees like the Darwin Oak are an integral part of our ecological and cultural heritage. This oak and the other veterans like it at risk from the scheme are each unique in their own way. Like humans, no one tree is alike. They have their own features, their own different quirks, their own different characteristics. And with these features, they provide such a range of diverse habitat, playing host to countless species, from birds to bats, fungi to lichen, and everything in between. And ancient and veteran trees are disproportionately valuable parts of the natural environment, particularly where they exist outside of woodland. And let's not forget the part they play in our cultural heritage, and that is part of why we are all dressed like this today. So as well as talking about the Darwin Oak and its friends, I also want to tell you a little bit about what the Woodland Trust is doing to protect trees just like this around the UK. We've launched a Living Legends campaign with 3 main goals. Firstly, to try and secure legally protected heritage status for our oldest and most valuable trees. We give this protection to man-made relics, so why are we not doing the same for natural monuments? Secondly, we want to see stronger policy protection for these trees so that schemes like this can't tear them down. They need to be allowed to grow old, safe from harm, and come to rest on their own terms. And thirdly, we want to look for greater support for landowners, the people who actually own and manage these trees. It's not an easy process to do so, and they need the support to care for them. So please do sign our Living Legends petition. Come to me if you want to get the sort of QR code so you can find it. We've got 2 private members' bills going through Parliament at the moment to try and secure that legally protected heritage status for trees. But we are here today for the Darwin Oak. And this oak and the other trees that are at threat really do matter. Majestic trees like this can be found across our British landscape. Dominant, striking, yet at the same time, graceful and elegant. And we are all responsible for standing up for them. And now, more than ever, ancient and veteran trees need those in power to carry the torch for them, not put them to the sword. These trees are irreplaceable habitats. They're afforded a high level of protection through planning, and yet those in charge are time and time again making poor choices regarding their protection. And it looks to be the same case again here. And I'm not trying to sugarcoat the situation for you. We are up against it with this case. Shropshire Council has already voted in favour of the scheme going ahead. They are yet to ratify that decision, but we can still take a chance. There's still an opportunity to defend these trees. And Better Shrewsbury Transport are doing some amazing work in that respect. And they need to mount a legal challenge once the council decides to ratify that decision. So please help them today. They are going around, they are collecting, so please do what you can to help them. There is an opportunity to make a difference. And also, write to your Shropshire Council, write to your local MP, write to your local councillors, write to the local newspaper, any local media outlet, and ask your friends and family to do the same. The more people that do that, the more impact we are likely to have. We've seen what people in power can do in places like Sheffield. We've seen those in power turn around, recognise their mistakes, and realise what they've done is wrong. So let's not allow Shropshire Council to rest easy on the decisions that they've made to date. So I just want to say thank you to everybody again for coming. Thank you to those who are going to be speaking today and helping get this event off the ground and continuing the fight. I'm going to pass on to Rob McBride now, aka Tree Hunter, and he's going to say a few words for you all. Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much, Jack. Lots of info there to take in.
Is it on? Is that on?
Oh yeah, are we on?
Yeah.
Yep. I'm holding it too far away. Yeah, thanks, Jack. Lots of info there. One thing that really strikes a chord with where I've been and who I've been speaking to this week, I've sort of literally hot-footed it back from the EU Parliament in Brussels, where I met many people from right across Europe, where generally they have better tree protection than we do here. So the Woodland Trust, along with other organisations, Ancient Tree Forum and Trees for Cities, Arb Association, for many, many years we've been campaigning to, like if you look on the Historic England website, you can Google and find that there are 7,000 benches in the country that have more protection than the Darwin Oak. So you know that society has got its values totally upside down when we have this sort of thing. And Jack said, write to your local MP. I was expecting him here today in his Darwin outfit, or dressed as a dinosaur. Yeah, maybe as a dinosaur, as I did quote, having listened to in October to the 4-hour meeting, some of the comments from the more senior members of that committee. Certainly, they didn't evolve like Darwin thought they would. But yeah, so the petition is on 104,500 signatures, and will be going at some time to whoever's in number 10 when we take it there. I don't know. It could be. If I give it to Mr. Sunak, I'm wondering whether he'll light a bonfire for his leaving party with it or something like that. You never know. It may make an impression on them. but you know, having had chats with the Forestry Commission lately about a veteran oak only 5 miles away that was felled recently, a 250-year-old oak that had no protection, but I felt was over 5 cubic meters. The rules for prosecuting people are so lax with regard to hollow trees like this. Darwin oak will be hollowing out naturally. That's how they survive a lot longer. Where am I rambling now? I just came up the bypass, and I sort of often come up this way and turned right and gone to Welshpool and on to Newtown, where the most successful British UK tree has ever been in the European Tree of the Year, the Brimon Oak, when we actually persuaded the Welsh government to bend a bypass 15 metres, and we saved that tree, which is a similar age to the Darwin Oak. So we're all hoping that we don't get this road to devastate this green wedge, this very unique wedge going into a town of my birth 35 years ago, let's say. You know, you look across here, I've said it a few times when I've been standing here, just look across and it's just crazy. They're totally, as I said, upside down and backward thinking, and it's not going to happen, and certainly this isn't going to be felled. If they do go ahead with the road, they need to bring the speed limit down 10 mph and wobble the road and save as many of these veteran trees, because I surveyed this route in 2010 and I got about 80 trees that were significant to record, veteran, notable and ancient, and we're talking around about 1,400 I think that they want to take out, but anyway, it's not going to happen. So enjoy yourselves today, and thanks, like everybody said, thanks for coming along. It's been it's inspiring to see you all. Thank you.
Thanks, Rob. That's great. Well done in Brussels. So I think we're going to do the big count now.
As part of the count, I'm going to point at you and you're going to say your number. And that's how we're going to do it. And hopefully it works. I'm not sure who's coming.
It's actually Charles.
Okay, that's actually Charles. Okay, so Rob, we're going to start with you.
1, 2.
3.
I'm not. I'm Darwin's father.
4,
5.
6.
6,
7.
7,
8.
8,
9.
9, 10,
11.
11,
12.
14,
14.
16. 16.
17, 17,
18.
18,
19,
19,
20.
21. 22. 23.
24,
24. 25. 26. 27.
28. 29. 30.
31.
32.
33.
34.
35. 36.
37. 38. 39. 40.
41.
42. 43. 44.
45.
46.
47.
48.
49.
50, 51,
52.
53. 54.
55. 56.
57. 58.
58,
59.
60. 61. 62. 63. 64.
66,
67.
68.
69. 70.
71.
72.
73.
74. 75.
7.
78. 80.
81, 81,
82. 83. 84.
84, 85,
86.
87. I don't know if that counts. 88,
89. 90. 91.
92.
93. 94. 95. 96.
97. 98.
99.
100! Hey! And I guess I'm 101 and 102.
Yes.
103. 104. 105.
There we go. We have 102 Darwins. Woo!